morning, traders. Manny Cabrera from the MDC Trading Academy here with our pre-market forecast for today, Wednesday, March the 20th. Let's look at our economic report for the day. Today being Wednesday, we do have very important information today. They have FOMC information. We have the statement, economic projections for fund rates. Notice how the federal bank right now is aligned itself really well with the Trump administration. It's cutting back on the increases in our interest rates in order to keep pace with the economy, in order not to put a damper on the growing economy. So it seems to us that it's doing very, 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 very well so far in reference to the alignment in policies. We have nothing till Thursday at 8:30. That happens obviously before our trading session, and we're free to go on Friday with no economic reports. Let's quickly jump to our trade chart. We'll start with our daily chart. Market has had the last 8 sessions. 6 have been closing to the upside. We have 2 small down days, but notice the market still continuing its resilience, bouncing off this support area which had established back in on the 8th. Market bounces off this area, continues to the high side. Yesterday was our first significant down day. We had over 1.2 million contracts traded yesterday. Yeah, 1.294 million, a significant amount of volume. But remember, volume is always stronger to the downside. That's how it happens over 99% of the time. Our down volume bars are always larger to the downside than they are to the upside. We're having a doji right now, but that's not, I don't think the market's going to be doing much of that all day. I think it's going to decide one way or the other whether it's going to come retest or move a little lower. Remember, our next resistance area is probably significant resistance area is right below here at 2798, which aligns with our 2800, which aligns really well with our 20 SMA. Let's look our projection chart here. This is the chart where we start to establish positions. Remember, I've had this area marked here, this huge box here. Of price areas 2863 versus 2732 or 2862 around this area. This is the area where the market is deciding what it's going to do long term, short to mid to long term. It's either going to break this and try to go all-time highs, or it's going to break through here and move much, much, much lower, very, very, very much lower. As we're expecting. But the market continues its uptrend. See if you can notice the last 5-6 days, market has established lows and has continued coming off these lows and continues its trend to the upside. It runs, it consolidates, it runs, it consolidates, it runs, it consolidates. This is no exception. This is our first run. We hit a high here at over 28.60, and we come back off it, hold support, break support, and establish a new support level. So let's look at what we can expect today. Let's look at our analysis chart. Market is between areas, and when I mean between areas, I'm talking about between the intraday high and the intraday low. It has established a high here. Our intraday high was established about noon yesterday. Market breaks off that area, runs all the way to establish the intraday low here. Late in the afternoon, we oscillated off it, come back, retest it. It's holding so far. Now we have a higher high and a higher low. So what you have here is a slight trend to the upside. We had this compression down to the outside. We had the triangle compression. Market breaks through it. Next test will be to see if the market comes retest this area here, see if it moves higher. If it doesn't move higher, the expectation is for it to come retest this area. So what are we expecting here? If it breaks this area, between these areas here, we can expect shorts. And if it breaks below this area, we can expect the market to accelerate a little bit to the downside. Otherwise, if the market comes and retests this area here, breaks through, we're expecting more continuation to the upside to try to retest some of these areas up here. We can look at it more closely here at our trade chart. And we have the compression triangle holding the support, breaks this triangle, retraces to it. This is our line right here that I was talking about here. If the market holds these lines here, continuation is obviously expected to continue. Come retest this area here. If we break this area, we're expecting the continued run. Otherwise, we're expecting breaks through here and come retest this area here. And of course, if it breaks down here, we can expect some acceleration. If we break up here, we can also expect a little bit more of acceleration to the upside. So keep your eyes open. Remember, we don't know what volume is going to do so far. It seems like we're going to have a little bit more volume today than we did yesterday. I do that quickly, just visually. I just measure yesterday's pre-market volume I know it's not very scientific, but you know, a picture's worth 1,000 words. You know how they say, right? This is yesterday's. This is today so far. So we have slightly a bit more movement this morning. So let's see what happens the rest of the day. So keep your eyes open. Look for these key areas to break before you start making choices. Take care and have a great trading session.